So tell me, what's your name and what's your gamer tag?
My name is Belen Takeset.
Tell me a little bit about your day. How is a normal day in Takeset's life?
Usually, when I don't have school, I wake up and I watch a bit of streams, eat some good breakfast, and then usually play some solo queue before our scrims. And then after our scrims, sometimes I play solo queue if I feel like it, or other times I just chill and try to relax.
This is your first time here in the office, so tell me a little bit. What's your first impression so far?
Well, my first impression was that it was actually bigger than I expected, and it looks like really clean, like almost as when you see the office tours in the LCS and LEC teams. It kind of reminds me of that. It looks really professional, so I'm impressed.
Thanks. Yeah, we're looking forward to have you sitting in our bootcamp room soon enough. So tell me a little bit about the new NLC format. It's the combination of the UK and Nordics. So what do you think about the league and the new format?
I think it's a pretty good addition to the RLs because from my experience, usually the UKLC before was always dominated by Fnatic Rising and BTXL, so there was only like two contenders, and the Nordic was like a bit more competitive but also a bit one-sided, so having them merged together, it gives more competition, I would say, so it's not as dominated by one team or two teams.
In regards to the teams in the league, give me who do you expect will qualify for EU Masters?
I mean, my top four is for sure BTXL, Fnatic Rising, Monster, and Riddle. So I'm fairly confident at least one of those teams will make it to EU Masters. Of course, I believe in ourselves as well, but my objective guess would be one of those four teams or two of those four teams.
So tell me a little bit about Nordavind and how did you see your first matchup there?
I think Nordavind is a pretty good team. Of course, we were expecting that we would be able to beat them, and I think we were, but we didn't really know our identity yet, and our comps they kind of went boom in the game. So yeah, that's what we were looking forward to trying to fix for the upcoming games.
So in the second game of the season, we had Godsend, and we went in pretty confident, and unfortunately got slapped. Tell me a little bit about what you think about Godsend.
I think Godsend, I think many people thought that Godsend was the worst team in the whole tournament, but I actually didn't think that. I think they obviously have clear weaknesses, and maybe their individual players aren't that good, but we should never underestimate anyone. So I think they have shown that they can actually do something, and yeah, I think it's unfortunate that we lost. It's kind of the same issues we had against Nordavind, but yeah.
Then let's move forward to last week's match against ENS. Third loss in a row, but yeah, tell me a little bit about the ENS, the Finnish roster, and what you think.
ENS, I think ENS's synergy should be pretty good considering they're all Finnish. So yeah, they have that going for them, but I think we kind of faltered as well, even though we managed to hold on for such a long time, which I think was an indication that we should have been able to get a lead in the game and snowball and win the game. But yeah, so my expectations for the next time we meet ENS is that we fix those issues in the early game, so we don't have to hold on for such a long time, but we can actually snowball and just win the game.
Tonight we're facing BTXL. Tell me a little bit about what your expectations are leading up to this matchup.
I think BTXL is a really good team. They've been playing together, most of them, for a long time, so I expect them to be pretty good, and it will be fun to see how we match up against a top tier team in this tournament LC. So I think we can definitely win. We shouldn't underestimate ourselves or the enemies. We should just try to play our game, and instead of responding to what they do, we just do what we want to do, and then we should be able to win.
Nice, like the confidence. That leaves us for the last team of the group, the only team, except for of course XL, that we haven't faced yet. Riddle. What do you think about the Riddle team, the full Danish stack?
I think it's the same as Ents in terms of they're all Danish, so and I know they're all friends, so they have pretty good synergy. I think they're really good individually as well. So I think they're definitely a top tier team, but they've also shown that they're not invincible and they've lost to Godsend, so they are beatable like every other team. No team is invincible and just can't lose. So we just have to play our game.
Tell me a little bit about your journey until you joined Team Singularity. Like, tell me a little about the past for Takeset and how you have come to this part of your journey now.
When I started playing League, I wasn't that good, but then towards season 6, I actually started to try hard a lot and focusing on improving. Then I got pretty high elo and I got my first team offer. And then that was like kind of the first time I played scrims and stuff like this, so I was getting kind of used to pro life, I guess, IRL life. And then I also had a split in Nordic last split where I also just kept improving and tried to improve myself as a player and a person, getting more experience. And yeah, now I'm here.
You just turned 18. You're a young guy. If you could choose your future yourself, how does your career look 1 year from now?
Next year I finish school, so I'll be able to play League full time. And then I would expect myself to get really good teams and like make a name for myself, and then later on play in the LEC.
It's a pleasure to have you here, and once again, very welcome in Singularity.
Thanks.
And it's a pleasure to have you here, and yeah, I'm looking forward to our last 7 games in the group stage, and let's get some W's.